a lot of time with our friends, so like we would go out. We used to geocache. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
We used to do that. That's actually what we were doing the weekend. Everything happened like that week. We'd spent those 2 weekends, the one before and one like, right before. We went geocaching in like both weekends.
Bree Wilbur stayed the night with Kelsey German and Libby the night on the 12th going into the 13th.
Me to take them that morning, and a little while later I decided that I would take them if they could find a ride home because I had other plans. From there, we dropped them off at the bridge around 1:35 and the searches started around 4.
Very much like to know if, because Kelsey did say she was like logging in to the accounts and they were checking stuff. She was doing it, from what I understand though, completely supervised. They were all still being, like they weren't really necessarily free to leave. They were being interviewed as, like when she went back to work, she wasn't there very long before they called her back. When Anna and Becky were on the phone, Becky was heading towards Anna's work. She was about to go there to tell her what was happening. And while Becky was en route to Anna, Mike called her and said, "We're going to the police station," because he had just called to report the girls missing. And he was like, "How do we get the ping situation going?" And they're like, "You need to go to the sheriff's office and they have people they can contact to get that ball rolling." And so they were going up there. Well, then all three of them turn around and meet up there at the police station. When they get there and they tell the police who was the last person to see the girls, they were like, "Get her up here now." The thing that's weird to me though about it is instead of her going straight from work to the police station, she stopped by and picked Bree up. Like, I don't know at what time she actually did get there in between leaving work, going to Bree's house. Like, I don't know if they got ready and then went up there. There's not an actual specific timeline other than around 6, the family gets to the police station and then Kelsey's called from work to get back up there. She picks Bree up, and then the next, any sort of time frame that we get for Kelsey is 9 p.m. And the only reason we know that is because she testified that she took screenshots while they were there being interviewed. Like, that's kind of my 213 timeline doc. That's kind of in this whole list right here is all of these things where we were getting closer. Like, I'm able to determine, okay, they were at the police station, they were not done with their interviews until after this happened, and then Gene Cola says that when he shows up around 10 p.m., they're still trying to get into this iPad. And then we've got Mike Patty doing the podcast saying, well, I had a cousin who did this, who works for a local station, and so they were helping us get the word out. And so, like, it kind of gives us, like, every little piece. You can do this, by the way, with actual phone data. That's what I mean by, like, there's some stuff you can figure out. In the absence of it, we are stuck with this, but that's why I really want all of these timestamps, because